Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's your friend James Shaw. Thank you so much for choosing to be here today and take part in what we do, which is talk to great agents who are doing great things. And we're going to do that today with my friend Kelly, who's kind of just down the street, right? About an
Yes.
hour east of me. Thank you so much, Kelly, for taking time out to join us. Would you tell everybody who you are and where you are and a little bit about your business?
Sure. Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. It really is an honor. I've been a part of the Pivot community for many years and the Inspire community for at least the last couple. I have been in real estate almost 11 years now. I put two and two together. I'm a third generation realtor. My mom was a realtor, my grandpa was a broker, and I love real estate. It has changed my life. I am a former teacher. I taught middle school English for 4 years, and I'm married to a teacher. And if you know much about it, it's that the career is very rewarding. It also isn't the best paying. And so when I had baby number one, and then I was pregnant with baby number two, it didn't make sense to go back to teaching and having daycare on a teacher's salary. So I was home for a little while. We took in my husband's siblings, and it was kind of a tough situation for a little bit. And one night I told my husband, and at the time, we were just struggling to make ends meet, month by month, day by day. And one night I said, "Hey, hon, I signed up for a real estate course." And he's like, "You did?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, but I'm just doing the course." And he's like, "Okay." And then once I did the course, I passed it. And then, of course, I had to take my license exam. And eventually, I had connected with another mom who was a realtor. And I was like, "Can we just go to coffee and see what how are you a mom and a realtor?" And out of that, a friendship formed, and real estate, I can honestly say, has changed my life. We went from when we were first married to being on WIC, and now we have it's either 11 or 12 investment properties. And it's changed the course of our family and our family's legacy, and it's allowed us to be a blessing to others. And so I'm just really grateful, and I would love to share just what has worked with me. I've since had two babies since then. So I've had four kids as a mom and a realtor, and have managed to, do a fairly decent job at it all. And so real estate has allowed me, and I feel like I'm hitting my stride. And how do I be a good mom and a good realtor and not lose my mind in the process? So,
It's such a cool story, and that getting off of support, right? You had support financially to make ends meet, to now truly being able to create wealth and opportunity for your family, and to be able to live what's important to you. You're a relationship person. You want to be a great wife. You want to be a great mom. You want to be a great neighbor. You want to be a great real estate agent, and it's just really working for you. I'm so proud of you, and you're going to have a record year this year. It looks like too. It's
yeah, it's on track. It's on track. Right now, I have 22 closed, three pending, and two offers that I accept to be signed today,
And here we
along with
are
some
in the
pipeline.
just early fall of 2025, and these things are happening for you, which is great. So let's talk about how you built it, because you built this from scratch. While you come from a family of realtors, you still went and built this from scratch. And it seems like that you decided that relationships were going to be a key piece, right? You told
Hmm.
us that it's referral and sphere. Open house is a big chunk, which is a relationship builder. And so we're going to talk about both of those pieces today.
Hmm.
Tell us why relationships are so important and how you stay so focused on them.
Well, I appreciate that. There's several ways to be successful in real estate. There's people that do cold calling, there's people that are doing door knocking, and I had to find something that works for me. And part of that works for me is, I am involved in several communities. I'm involved in my kids' school. I'm involved in our church. And so I have really worked to be intentional in focusing on relationships, because that's genuine. Like, people do business with those that they like, know, and trust. And so I came to a realization that I want to be the best person for the job. If someone I know is going to hire someone with the biggest investment of their life, or they're saying, "Here's the biggest investment of my life," and they're handing it over to someone, I know that I'm going to work hard to get it done. And I'm going to work hard to get them either the most amount of money or the best deal and as smooth as possible. And so it really has been focusing on genuine relationships. And so it's a multiple fold. I want to be as efficient as possible. I'm also a mom. And so some of what I do is I make sure that I show up at all the social events as the best version of myself. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to as many people as I can. And so the way that I think of it is I can, go call 20 people on the phone, or I can show up to my kid's birthday party
Right.
and talk to 20 people and have conversations about their lives. And the truth is, when you're asking the Ford questions, the family, occupation, relation, they're going to ask it right back. And they're
Yeah.
going to say, how is the market? How is this? And I always want to show up with a value. Um, you know, I'm going to foster relationships in all that I do. And so whether it's at my kid's school, whether it's at a sports game, whether it's at a birthday party, I'm showing up and I'm not just talking to the one person that I know. Like
Right.
I'm
Well,
going out and having those conversations.
that's great. Let's get strategic on it then. I want to break down the three
Okay.
spaces you talked about, which is first using your kids and the community that your children are in as part of your farm, right? A demographic farm for you. So I want to talk about that one. Next, how you show up with your church community and leverage that. And then third, this open house piece. So get strategic with me when it comes to your kids. And you touched a little bit on it, birthday parties and stuff at school and
Hmm.
forming relationships. But what are some of the tactical things that other moms and dads who are paying attention to this and have kids in school could use to be able to help them earn more opportunities from that place?
Sure. So me and I have a real estate partner on a team. We are big on events. So we do events, and for all my past clients, for my potential clients, we invite them to events. But I'm going to invite the people, my kids, classmates, parents. I'm going to invite the people from my church. I'm going to invite my sphere. It's not just clients, to be intentional about this. I'm going to say yes to every invitation that they give me, and I'm also going to, when they need a volunteer, say at my kids' school, I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to show up. I'm going to, you know, I like to recently sponsored the teacher appreciation luncheon. And I'm going in, and it's not a transactional, if I do this, I do this, but it's showing up in relationships and providing value anytime I can. And so recently, like the sports team, had magnets for their football games, and I sponsored the magnets. And on the bottom, it said "Sponsored by Kelly Fain, Mom and Realtor," and it had my cute little family photo. So anything that I can that can provide value to what I see as my farm. And I feel weird saying that because I don't want it to be transactional, but it is like those people are going to buy and sell houses, and they have people that they know to buy and sell houses. And so I want it to be me because I know that I'll do a good job for them, and I want their biggest investment to be with me.
It seems like you're just focused on being present and being genuine and being
Hmm.
authentic, that it's just kind of those three key pieces that you're
Yes.
you're putting the focus on the community and the people, and you trust the business will show up. Is that, do you think people can tell the difference between your being when you're being present and genuine and authentic, and then when all you care about is a check?
Oh, 100%. Because, like, I don't know always when the business is going to show up. Like, my job, though, is to be in relationship with people and to be a person that they do trust. In something as simple as in the simple and in the complex. And so, if you are showing up in genuine relationship in the small things, when it comes time for the big things, you're going to be who they call.
Yeah, that's really, really good. All right. I imagine it's a similar play in your church community. I don't even want to
Hmm.
really call it a play. It's just you being you, but it's a
No, it's
similar
just being
strategy in church, in your church community, of being present and genuine and authentic. And yet
same
it's
thing.
one that people get it, like in their school world or their kids or on teams. Like it's very natural to be able to turn those relationships into business. Sometimes people are less comfortable doing that in a church or a faith-based space. So can
Mhm.
you talk about how you have earned that opportunity in a way that's comfortable for you?
I mean, it's the same thing. It's relationships. It's being going places and reaching out to someone that and just having conversation rather than staying with my own little circle of my one or the couple people that I know. It's genuinely reaching out to others. And it's not usually about business when I have conversations with them, but when it comes time, they do call. They do call. And so I think it's whatever you do, showing up genuinely and showing up with the intention, like, of having relationship and fostering relationship, and not just getting, but giving, in whatever it is. And so it's really common for me to say, wherever it is, whether it's school or work or with my neighbors, like I'm like, if you, by the way, like they're going to ask me about my job. If you need a
Mhm.
painter, if you need a handyman, if you need whatever, call me. I work with them all the time. And they go, oh, yeah. And so it's a way to just provide value when there aren't more than when there aren't stakes. I'm not asking for their business, but
Right.
I do come off as I want to be a connector of people, and I want
Yeah.
to come across as someone who knows what they're doing. And so it's just a really low stakes way of being in relationship.
Last week, there was a member of Pivot and Inspire, somebody you know who's very active and very successful inside of our community. She sells a lot of homes. And she brought up the other day that she had this realization that she was actually losing business because people looked at her as the friend, as the person who supports everything, as the community connector, almost the kind of the mayor of her farm, if you will, but that they would forget from time to time she was a real estate agent and she was missing sales opportunities because of that, because they loved her and they think she's great and awesome and so helpful, but they forgot to use her when it came to a deal. And she's an elite agent selling at a top 1% in the country.
Mhm.
How do you avoid that? Because that can happen to you too, where people look at you and they go, Kelly's great, and she's always supporting the team, and she's so nice, and her kids are awesome, and her family's great, and we love them. And then they use somebody else who hasn't invested back in the community the way you have. How do you make sure that that person knows not only are you their friend, but you can help them with their real estate needs too?
That's a great question that I don't know if I've completely like, mastered, but I think that part of it that I found success in is supporting other people's dreams and other people's businesses, and um it's going to come back that they want to support mine. So as simple as when it comes time, like I do use social media quite a bit. When someone has their baseball fundraiser, like I'm going to support them. And in turn, when it comes time and I ask for support, people do show up. They do because you've genuinely supported them. It's an overflow.
It's smart. One thing you do is events, and we talk about
Hmm.
events all the time. This is not a new
Hmm.
concept for us here inside of Pivot Shift Ahead or the Inspire Collective, but it's a way for you to give back, which is what you just talked about. Tell us about some of the events you host and what you do.
I love events. I love events. And so last year I was at Mega Camp, me and my real estate partner, and I forget who was on stage, but they talked about how they front loaded their events for the following year by doing like multiple events fourth quarter. And so we did 3 events fourth quarter. We did Pups and Pints, where we invited people to bring their dogs and go to the local brewery. We did I think we did 4 events. We did like a ladies' night out, shopping at our local consignment store and donating. One of our big ones was we rented out a local movie theater, a historic movie theater, and we had a double header, a kids movie, and we just invited everyone because it was a flat fee to rent out the whole thing. And we got business as a result. And that was really, really neat to do. And then you do invite everyone, and it does. Become a genuine touch, like we talk about events. But yeah, that was one of my favorites was renting out the historical movie theater and showed Christmas movies. And we had Santa there and we had pizzas and hot chocolate. And then we started it off with a video of just thanking people for their business. And so I think everyone chooses to run their business differently. And I love events because it's a genuine way to get in front of people, hug them, see how they are, see how their kids are doing. They see yours. And it's just a really genuine way to connect with others.
Yeah.
And even if they don't show up, the phone call ahead of time, the invitation ahead of time, the phone call afterward that we missed you is just like I build my business on relationships, and it's a real genuine way to build relationships.
How does hosting these events in the fall then impact your business? Because we're always talking about filling the pipeline, right? We want to be on purpose with purpose. There needs to be a point. So how have these Q4 fall and winter events impacted your business the following year?
I would say so. We did those Q4 events, and then the following not quite the first quarter, but January through April into May, I sold just as much as I did the previous year. And so I don't think I did much differently other than front loading those events. And so you can't always, if you're I do a lot of work with my sphere. I interact with them on social media. You know, was it the event that drew them? Was it the
Right.
social media?
Be
But
hard to
it's another thing. But I would say front loading those events, I had my busiest year, my busiest four months, but all of 2024 was the same as all of 2024.
It seems like you're relationship focused, and so this is just all part of the system. It's
Yeah.
show up at the stuff at school and participate, add value, participate in the fundraisers, go to the birthday parties, go to the mom's night out, build relationship, make sure they know what you do, but focus on relationship first. Your events are all about that. It's really good, but you're also looking to grow. You want to add people to the database and meet more people. And so the other big piece of your business is open houses. And so let's spend a few minutes just talking about your strategy around it, because you're pretty purposeful on it as well. So will you
Mhm.
teach us your open house play?
Sure, sure. And there's so much to learn in this group from open houses. I What is nice about open houses is people that are like basically raising their hand that they want to buy or sell. Like versus, you try to make cold calls, maybe they want to sell, maybe they want to buy. What I like about open houses is it's a genuine way to talk to people. You get to see people face to face. You get to, smile and ask questions. And so the way I run open houses is not super fancy, not super crazy. I do them often on my listings or my partner's listings where we activate Thursday and have an open house Saturday. We post it on social media. I want everything that I do to be multi-purpose. And so my social media consists of a lot of my friends, my sphere. So they're going to see that I'm working. People see that I'm working. I'm going to get to the open house. I'm going to put up signs. I've learned I keep business cards in my pocket when I'm putting out signs because there's been more than one time that people have asked questions, and so I've learned to be like, hey, here you go. I also try to invite past clients or sphere if I'm having an open house nearby. It's a natural touch to say, hey, I'm going to be in your neighborhood on Saturday. This is the house. If you're not busy, stop by. I'd love to come and hug your neck. Whether or not they show up or not, it's another touch. But it's going to go out, and then as people come in, I'm going to greet them. I'm going to say thank you for coming, and I'm going to start with a question of, did you see it online or in person? And it's a really low stakes question, but it establishes that I'm going to ask questions and they're going to answer, and they're not, and so we come in, I show them a couple of key points of the house, and then I just start asking questions. How long have they been looking? I start off with some low stakes questions before I start asking them if they want me to be their realtor or if they're working with someone.
You're a relationship person. That's the easy thing to tell. You want to just get to know people and add value to them. I imagine you've learned some stuff though too in this. You've made some mistakes and had some lessons. What are some of
Mhm.
those that you'd like to share with everybody so that they can learn from your mistakes?
Yeah, I've got plenty of those. Follow up is key, and follow up right away because the honest to goodness truth is if I'm doing an open house on Saturday, if I wait to Monday to reach out to them, they forgot about me. I've half forgot about them. Even if it's a text message, I do best if it's the text message or the phone call as I'm leaving out of the driveway, just to say it was nice to meet them and that I'm going to be sending them here something here shortly. It's immediate follow up is the lesson that I've learned the hard way, is to not and to follow up repeatedly, because there have been cases. And oh goodness, another lesson I've learned is sometimes people say, hey, I'm not ready um, to buy for 6 months. And so I put something in my calendar for 5 months from then, and guess
That's
what?
too late.
They've
It's too
already
late.
bought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's maintaining relationship. We've heard it from you. Hey, last time we talked, you said that you were going to buy 6 months from now. Is that still your plan, or have things
Mhm.
changed? Has anything popped up on the market? And my goal is, even if I'm really good at buyer consults. I've learned a lot on here. But even if they want to buy 6 months from now, I want to get them in a buyer consult now. I want to talk to them now and set up the appointment now. as
Mhm.
best as I can, not 6 months from now. Because chances are, unless they absolutely can't move, they're
Right.
going to see a
Something will
house
change.
on Zillow.
We
They're
got to
going
be
to
in
see
flow with
something.
them. No doubt. Hey, as we wrap, you have been part of what we've done inside of Pivot and Inspire for a long time, specifically in the Inspire Collective, which is our membership community. I mean, you pay to be a part of that.
Mhm.
I'm curious about what does being part of those communities do for you, and why should others participate as well?
I think a large portion of our business is mindset. And I mean, we can argue that it's probably 90%. I don't know, but it's a large percent. So between being in Pivot and Inspire, it gets my head in the right space. It helps me to be learning phase based. It helps me to be positive. And if I am in around surrounded by the most brilliant real estate minds in the country and I'm learning for them, what a gift is that? What a gift is it that I can learn, and we have such a wealth of knowledge within both Pivot and Inspire for about any subject. So if
Mhm.
there's something that I feel like I need or want to learn on, I can type it in, I need or want to learn. So I would say there's enough that there's tweaks, little scripts, little things. There's so much to learn you can't possibly take it all in,
Right.
but I'm able to take the pieces that apply to my business and just become 1% better, 1% better, 1% better.
I love it. Anybody who's interested, you can go to jamesdshaw.com to get information about it. Kelly, I'm proud of you. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
taking
I
time out to come join us and share what you're doing. You're obviously adding value to the people around you, or they wouldn't use you for their business, but you put them first. And I think that's a space that, if I've been teaching this for years, if you put your community and your people first, then everything else will fall into place. And that's what you've done. Kelly,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.